Brandon Straka made this video saying he was walking away. He was a gay liberal and he wanted to walk away from the left, which he said, and he started to encourage people to walk away. And he has started a movement, and he is organizing a walkaway march in Washington, D.C. for October 27th. And we had him on the show and talked about him. A really entertaining guy and an entertaining interview. This is October 27th, the walkaway march. And here is Brandon Straka. Brandon Straka, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
So let's start at the beginning. What is it that made you walk away in the first place? It made you make this walk away video?
Well, I had been watching for years as I felt like the ideology of liberalism was becoming more and more kind of toxic and intolerable. And so I was already starting to feel sort of pushed away and isolated and, kind of turned off by that. And then, but it was really after the election of Donald Trump that, I voted for Hillary, and I was really, really devastated that Donald Trump had been elected because I believed the liberal media. I mean, I was an ardent follower of the liberal media. And so when they said things like he was, racist, a bigot, a Nazi, the second coming of Hitler, I really thought that we were in a lot of danger. I mean, I really, really believed them. And so it wasn't until, I was going on social media and like ranting and raving and asking all these people, I grew up in Nebraska, and I was just like, why did you people vote for him? Like, what were you thinking? What's wrong with you? And then finally this woman who used to babysit me when I was a baby got in touch with me, and she presented me with a YouTube video, which was a compilation of footage showing the ways in which the liberal media had taken moments out of context and isolated them and spun a narrative. And, and basically, if you watch the entirety of, these different clips or see these moments in proper context, what the media was leading us to believe wasn't true at all. Huh. And I mean, I feel a little bit like an idiot sitting here telling you this today, because it's so obvious, the kind of thing that once you see it, you can't ever unsee it. I'm like, how did I miss this? But, I'm not alone. Millions and millions of people are falling for what the liberal media is telling them. And that was really what happened to me.
I had this almost the exact same experience. I'm a lot older. I had it with Reagan, because I was the same thing, right down the line, liberal, believed the media, and then everything he did worked. And I thought something is wrong here. So yeah, no, that's. So you put out a video. Were you shocked when it became as popular as it was?
I don't, I like, anytime I do something, I like to dream really big and kind of, dream for this, shoot for the moon, and so I didn't know what would happen. Obviously, I had no idea. And I definitely contemplated the possibility that I would put this video out and maybe 50 people would ever see it. And those would be the 50 people who would, for the rest of my life, would be in charge of telling, whether or not I got a job or a place to live, or, these would be like all my future bosses. But, no, I mean, I had hoped that it would be as successful as it has been. And so, but I'm absolutely amazed. And I'm, so touched that it has had this effect on people.
Have you gotten any pushback? I mean, I know you said once you refused service in a store, but has it gone beyond that?
I don't know if it's gone beyond that. I mean, there's sort of different categories of hate that one receives. So there's definitely the, being denied service in the store hate. There's the hate where the people who are your friends since elementary school reach out to you and say that they're going to go to the media and tell horrible things about you to people. There are the people who use the, I'm almost 4 years sober. So there are people who love to say that, go on social media and say that I'm doing drugs or that I'm drinking again. I mean, you name it. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, there has been pushback.
I mean, the viciousness of the left almost confirms what you're talking about. It does. Do you find now that, I mean, obviously you must be falling in with some evil conservatives like me. Do you find them to be a different breed of people?
I really do. Yeah. I mean, I really, really do. I mean, for a number of reasons. First of all, there's the aspect of conservatives, I find, can even disagree with each other.
Yeah.
Not just disagree with liberals, but disagree with each other and still be okay, and still not feel the need to, burn somebody's house down or, push them out a window or blow up their car, or, there's that. But also, I just feel that in general, what it means to be a Republican or a conservative has changed. I mean, I think that I'm finding that the Republican Party, which is where I consider myself to be now, is very inclusive. It's becoming more and more diverse. We're seeing now that African American support for Trump just 1 year ago was at 15%. Now it's over 35%. You're welcome. Just kidding. No, but it's I think that things are changing and opening up, and so that's why I was a liberal years ago. In the first place, is because I felt like that's where the tolerance, the diversity, the inclusion was. But what it really is, what I see so clearly now is that they're diverse and they're tolerant in the most superficial of ways. What they really care about is, what is the color of your skin? What is, are you a different religion? I mean, it's all about the appearance of, but it's like when it actually comes to diversity of thought or diversity of actual belief, or not so much. It's a one-way road.
Yep, I know. I find this too. I mean, I always tell people I became a conservative because I'm a liberal, because I believe in actual diversity. What about on the issue of gays? I mean, this is still a place where I get a lot of flack for my openness to gay life and my feeling that people should be whatever they are. Do you find are you getting pushback from conservatives there?
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, I mean, no, not at all. And to be honest, like, I'm not being at all exaggerative or hyperbolic when I say at this point, I've gotten tens of thousands of messages from people all over the world, and definitely all over the country. Most of them conservatives, saying, how much this movement means to them, how much my speaking out and stepping forward means to them. And many of them, I mean, out of all of those messages, I've maybe received 2 or 3 from somebody who's just like a total knucklehead, who says something really stupid, something, like, love what you're doing, don't support you being gay. I'm like, okay. But the majority of the people who reach out to me, and honest to God, like maybe 3 I've gotten like that. But the 99.99999% of them are people who, I mean, even people who don't understand it and don't really get it. Sometimes I'll get messages from people who say, I'm an 87-year-old straight woman from Iowa. I don't understand what being gay means, but I don't care. I love you. I think what you're doing is amazing. Thank you so much for standing up for our country.
This has been my experience among conservatives too. I mean, I find them the most tolerant, open-hearted people on earth, by and large. I mean, as you say, you get your knuckleheads, but not as many as you would think. You're having a march, is that correct?
That's correct.
So,
yes.
Tell me about when is this?
Okay, so it's the Walkaway March on Washington. It's a weekend. It's a March weekend. We're doing October 26th through the 28th. So what we're doing is on Friday night, October 26th, we're having a really nice gala dinner, which is still sort of in the works, but that's probably going to be at the Trump International Hotel. We anticipate having very big name speakers and, different kind of package levels at which people can be, a VIP dinner or just regular admission dinner. On Saturday, October 27th, will be the march and the rally. We will be marching from the DNC to our nation's capital. We will quite literally be walking away from the Democratic Party. And we will assemble in front of our nation's capital at the same spot as the inaugurations have been held. We will be having, again, an amazing rally with incredible speakers. Some high-profile conservative voices will be stepping up to talk and address our nation right before the midterm elections. But also, I want to make clear the Walkaway campaign is really about giving a voice to the people. And it's about giving the power, the voice, and the acknowledgement back to the people. So we'll also be having everyday Americans who have amazing walkaway stories to tell. We'll let them step up and have the mic for a bit too, to address the American people. And then on Sunday, October 28th, we'll have our closing brunch and give people the day to travel back home.
So now that Trump has been in office, I don't know, it feels like about 15 years, but I think it's only 2. How do you feel about what he's doing?
Oh, I think he's amazing. I think he's amazing.
Yeah,
I do. I can't wait to vote for him in 2020 because, of course, I didn't vote for him in 2016. And so sadly, I'll only have the opportunity to get to pull that lever one time. But I think he's doing an amazing job. I mean, I think the numbers speak for themselves. I think the confidence that Americans are feeling speaks for itself. It's really only the people who are running around, with tinfoil on their heads screaming, resist, resist, Hitler's back, Hitler's back. I mean, it's really only those people that are unhappy. And I feel for them, but it's like, at the same time, I'm like, honey, take a Xanax. I mean, everything's fine. We're really doing quite well.
As you go forward, what are you hoping to see? I mean, when you're talking about actual things like policy, actual things that you'd like to see happen in the country, what are you hoping for?
Well, what I'm really hoping for, particularly going forward with the Walk Away campaign, is I want to see more and more, more people in general, but particularly minorities, begin to open their eyes and see that they have been lied to and used and manipulated by the Democratic Party, and that they don't really care about them. They are manipulating them and they are using them. And that, I always say walk away is a journey, not a destination. Now, I happen to find myself in the Republican Party, but I don't tell people where to go or what to think. I don't encourage people to leave groupthink and come into more groupthink. All I say is take a look at what's going on the left. Take a look at what's going on in the Democratic Party. Really do your research and look at the history of this party. It's deeply steeped in racism. It's deeply steeped in divisiveness. And these days, the liberal media doesn't know the truth from a hole in their heads. I don't know if that made any sense, but you know what I mean. They wouldn't know the truth if it bit them in the what. So yeah. It's like they need to take a look at these things and see what's going on. I want to encourage more minorities to walk away. And something that really concerns me, I'd like to say really fast, because I want to try to get this message out as much as possible going forward, because it's something I've recently discovered, and I'm very concerned about it. I believe that what the Democratic Party is their next tactic is going to be, because they seem to be pushing more and more for this far left socialist sort of communist platform. They're even starting to run these democratic socialists very openly. I mean, that's what, I think that what they're going to do is find candidates who, anywhere they can find them, who are Black, Hispanic, gay, transgender, run them on this extremely fringe left socialist platform, and their strategy is going to be that when people object to this platform, they're going to say it's because they're transphobic or homophobic or racist. So they are intentionally going to run minorities on this platform so that they can use their minority status to help push that socialist platform and accuse anyone else of being a bigot who objects to it. And what I'm even more concerned about is that Black people and gay people and transgender people are going to think that they have to be socialists because they're gay or because they're transgender. This concerns me a lot. And so I want to make sure that we get voices out to these communities, these racial minority communities, the LGBT community, to let them know you don't have to be a socialist. You don't have to be a Democrat. You don't have to be a liberal. There is room for you on the right, in the middle, anywhere else. Just get out of there.
That's really interesting. I think that is a strategy they've been using for years. Brandon Straka, thank you very much for coming on, and I wish you luck with the march.
Thank you so much.
That's October 27th in Washington, D.C. is the Walk Away March. Do it.